very extensive programs in the communities, and it's really good. The Eat OK community welcomes us. We often target through our data what are the red areas and so on. So we'll say, okay, we need to go to Kandavo, we need to go to Vanuatu here, there. But then we might plan for about 8. Now we're doing almost 60 a year and going and staying there for 5 days in the community. And this is through the intervention of Turangani Koros, provincial councils, and so on. So we do the awareness and so on, in a gentle manner, getting them to understand. Our training is very unique, and it's also used throughout the Pacific. So for them to come to the realization. Then we finished with the women, then we do the men in a community. Like Koro, we have a Committee Against Violence Against Women. So there we bring in the police, the Nasini Koro, all those people, and the women advocates, and the men. So they become the male advocates. So, and then the women first, then 3 months later, so on, we go and do the men. But we want to listen to they always say the men first. And we say, no. We want to hear from the women what their issues are first, then we can work out strategies. And then the men, and then we form the committee, then they come together, the police and all this. And then we go back 6 months later and do focus group discussions with the men, the women, and the children. And there we see these changes, incremental. So even the fact that if the woman says, oh, he now brings the firewood home, does the firewood, water, spend some time with the children, then he goes to drink kava. He still drinks kava, but he does all of this, so she's happy with that. He says, she doesn't, I feel happy, I'm spending more time with my children, my wife doesn't yell at me, and so on, so those changes in the roles, they're doing things together, and the children would say, no more fighting, or something like that. So for us, we have to celebrate those changes, little, and then they are our eyes and ears there, so they will be the ones who do. So it's a very good program. It's also replicated in Tonga, in Vanuatu. Vanuatu actually started this program, Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, and so on, within the network and so on. So, so that's how we do that. It's a bit difficult to get into the Indo-Fijian community. We still are struggling with that. We do awareness and so on. They still come, women still come, but we are not often welcomed into there. The women's groups, yes, mothers groups and so on, they would do that. And the religious, we work very closely with House of Sarah. The Anglican Church is doing a lot of good work around this. The Methodist Church, when we took out this prevalence study came out, we went and presented. They asked to be present, so we presented it to them, and we worked for a while together. Then they've got their own programs that are going and so on. So they are working on it, but I don't think they're as strong as and then the Catholic Church is on and off and so on. The Methodist Church, because when they read Eastern Division, they got a bit worried because most of the Methodists are staying there, So then they said they wanted to do some more. But it also depends on the leadership of any organization. If they are open to being progressive and embracing these things, then it's easier to work through that. But when the leadership changes, then things change also, as you see in the police force.